Amal Clooney is undoubtedly one of the most accomplished and respected lawyers in the world. Known for her brilliant mind, stunning beauty, and her role as a fierce human rights advocate, Amal has become a global symbol of success. However, behind the public image of the powerhouse lawyer, there's a side to her that many don't see: her deep commitment to her family and her husband, Hollywood A-lister George Clooney. While the world has always known about George's charming, fun-loving personality, and his dramatic rise to fame, what many don't realize is the extent of Amal's sacrifices behind the scenes to support him. These sacrifices go beyond just the typical ups and downs of a marriage. What she has given up in her personal and professional life for George Clooney has truly shocked even their closest friends and family. So what exactly did Amal Clooney sacrifice for George, and why did no one see it coming? Let's explore some of the more surprising aspects of their relationship. When Amal and George first met, their connection was immediate. While George was no stranger to the Hollywood limelight, Amal was a rising star in the legal world. Known for representing clients such as Julian Assange and other high-profile figures, Amal was fully immersed in her career. She had it all: success, influence, and the admiration of many. However, when Amal met George, her life took a shift that surprised even those closest to her. Despite her thriving career and desire to make a mark in the world, Amal decided to make certain personal sacrifices for the sake of her marriage. One of the most significant decisions she made was shifting her professional priorities to accommodate George's demanding Hollywood schedule. George's work often required him to travel extensively for film projects, press tours, and charity events. And while Amal had her own high-profile commitments, she chose to adapt her schedule to ensure that she and George could be together as much as possible. This meant sacrificing her time and sometimes even her ability to take on certain cases that required her to be abroad for extended periods. Another major sacrifice that Amal made was her decision to focus heavily on raising their children, Ella and Alexander. The couple welcomed their twins in June 2017, and immediately, Amal showed that she was determined to be a hands-on mom despite her incredibly demanding career. Balancing a world-renowned law practice and motherhood might seem overwhelming, but Amal managed to do it with grace, often stepping back from her global obligations to prioritize family time. While George was fully supportive of Amal's professional journey, he knew the reality of being a working parent in the public eye. Amal, however, made the tough decision to reduce her travel and legal commitments during the first few years of their children's lives to ensure they both had a hands-on parent who could guide them through their formative years. This sacrifice was monumental. Amal had always been so focused on using her skills to help people around the world, and stepping away from that mission was a difficult decision. But for Amal, her priority was clear: her family. She realized that in order to nurture the next generation, she had to put some of her career aspirations on hold. George Clooney, known for his iconic roles in movies like Ocean's 11, Gravity, and Up in the Air, has been a fixture in Hollywood for decades. But one of the most surprising sacrifices that Amal made for George was how much she adapted to his career in Hollywood, especially when he was making a significant shift in his professional life. In 2013, George decided to step behind the camera as a director. His film The Monuments Men, which he directed and starred in, marked a new chapter in his career. Amal, who had already made a name for herself in the legal world, didn't shy away from supporting George through this transition. Instead, she stood by his side through the challenges of producing a major film while juggling his personal life. But it wasn't just about being there for George during the filming of his movies. Amal also stepped into a quiet role as a support system during times of personal and professional uncertainty. While George took on the pressures of being a director and actor, Amal was there to reassure him and keep his mind grounded. She made it clear that while her career was important, she would always support George's creative and professional ambitions. Another notable sacrifice Amal made was her active participation in George's humanitarian efforts. While Amal had her own humanitarian agenda, including her work with the United Nations and other organizations, she fully supported George's involvement in various charity projects. From their joint efforts to raise awareness for refugee crises to their work supporting organizations like the Clooney Foundation for Justice, Amal was instrumental in expanding the couple's impact. But being involved in these causes often required sacrifices of time, energy, and sometimes personal comfort. Amal, despite her busy schedule, helped organize events, advocate for the causes they believe in, and stood alongside George at every important moment. Amal Clooney has made numerous sacrifices for her family, career, and marriage, and most of them have gone unnoticed by the public. She has quietly supported her husband, George, through thick and thin while also maintaining her own identity as a trailblazer in the legal world. From giving up her time and adjusting her professional priorities to putting her family at the forefront, Amal's story is one of love, commitment, and sacrifice. In the end, Amal's biggest sacrifice for George Clooney wasn't something anyone saw coming, it was her willingness to prioritize her family over her own ambitions. And that, in itself, is one of the most beautiful aspects of their relationship.